Hello everyone. I apologize, you will be hearing a printer in the background. I just watched Becca from Bookopoly, her announcement video for the Spookopalathon, which will take place in October. And so I'm printing the stuff out. So I am excited. She does a great job with the boards as always. So for this, we are going to be talking about, I've got one more page to print. We are going to be talking about this book, doing a book talk, Killjoy by Holly Jackson. This is part of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. And this is the prequel to the series. So it is a short book, and this is a novella. This particular edition was 117 pages. This is a young adult. It takes place somewhere in England. Don't know for sure where, but somewhere in England. This is a young adult mystery thriller. Okay, this was published in 2022. And so The Good Girl's Guide to Murder is a trilogy, and again, this is the prequel, so number 0.5. There was an audiobook available when I read this one. I listened via Audible, and it was narrated by 3 different narrators. We have Bailey Carr, Raymond J. Lee, and Bruce Mann. And the audiobook was 2 hours and 37 minutes on standard one-time speed. So this one, we are still following Pip. She is the lead main character in this. In this particular one, she has yet to decide what she's doing her capstone project on. So she is thinking, she's tossing around ideas in her head or bouncing things around. In the meantime, she is invited to a party with a group of friends, and this party is a murder mystery party. Pip loves a good mystery. So she goes. For those of you who don't know what a murder mystery party is, it is where you go, you are issued a character. Sometimes you're given it in advance and a character biography to study up on. Sometimes you have no idea who you're showing up on. You're just told to dress in a certain era or certain style. And you show up and then you find out who your character is. It just depends on the host and the version of the game that they're playing. So Pip shows up. There is a host, and the host gives you clues about who killed which person along the way. And then you try to work out who killed it. It's like a live version of Clue. Okay. So Pip is at this murder mystery party with her friends. She really gets into it. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I was going to say how Pip felt about at the end, but I think that gives you an insight into Pip's character. So I'm going to let you learn a little bit more about Pip's character, especially if you haven't started this series. I do recommend starting with this one first because you learn a little bit more about Pip's character and how she thinks before going into the bigger commitment of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And the theme of the game is the 1920s for the game that Pip goes to. So the Roaring Twenties, although can you imagine that was 100 years ago now? That is hard to believe. That is just amazing because it is 2024. So yeah, it was the 1920s. That was 100 years ago. So now that we know what this is about, because I don't want to spoil anything, especially for 117 pages. Here in the printer. So what are your content and your trigger warnings? Your content warnings are specifically lung cancer is mentioned. That made me think of my grandpa because that's what he passed away from, like over 10 years ago or something like that. I don't know the exact, was it 2008 that he died? Anyway. You also have gambling addiction talked about, and I would say underage drinking. However, I don't remember the age of the character that drank alcohol in this, and someone commented on one of my previous videos, I believe that legal age in England is 18 to drink alcohol, so it might still be underage. It is definitely underage drinking if this were to take place in America, because you do need to be 21 years old at least to drink and consume alcohol. Granted, people don't abide by that, but you get in a lot more trouble, especially if you're an adult providing alcohol to said person underage. Anyway, yeah, that's a big, big no-no. here in the US. So that's your content and your trigger warning. As far as representation, it's going to be up to your imagination, okay? Nothing is overtly mentioned, and I couldn't see any obvious representation or various representations. So now that that is all said, in case you're still on the fence and you're thinking it does sound good, but what are the word counts? In case there's a word that is a particular trigger to you, then you'll know to avoid this book. It is not mandatory to read this book before you go into the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And if you've read the series and then read this, that's fine. But if you want to pick this up, you know, obviously it does take place before the events of the first book. So we have the word God 9 times, not in a religious context. We have fuck 11. Shit 9, damn 5, bloody once, where this is in the UK, it is similar to, my understanding is it is similar to fuck in this case. It's just a completely different word. The word dick twice, bastard once, bullshit twice, fucker once, damning once, kiss ass once, piss once, dumbass once, incest once, hell twice, boob once, screw once, AF once. That's literally how it was used, AF, which I believe that's as effed, something like that. I can't remember. I always forget that one because that's not a slang that I grew up with. So anyway, and then the last word that was used is bitches once. So let me know, have you read Killjoy by Holly Jackson? I know that A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is kind of divisive as far as you really enjoy it, or you think it's okay, or it is definitely not for you. So let me know if you have read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, where do you fall on it? I personally love it. So I just think it's entertaining. I don't take it seriously. I don't take any fiction books seriously, really. I mean, some of them, depending on the content, a little more than others, but definitely this series, it's just lighthearted fun is the way I see it. So yeah, let me know if you've read this. Do you like this series? If you've read this particular book, did you enjoy it? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.